Tuyina wala Abaganda bannakinku bajja kukuba emiggo nga you speaking broken Luganda. Tuyina omukulu Ali Kakembo ajja kukuba oluyi agambe gwe don't play with our language. Osegera. But again, we do ask one simple question: what has holes but still holds water in it? Go onto our socials and drop in your comment right there, and we see who definitely stand a chance to win themselves particular goodies that we give out at the end of the day. And alternatively, you can use our WhatsApp number, which is 0770-531-962, 0770-531-962, and be able to actually give us your feedback. We'll definitely be getting it right on the go. We're taking a short breather. When we return, we'll definitely be looking into some of the developing stories that are coming through across the entire country, and looking at also an accident that occurred yesterday at Fort Portal, claiming about 20 people and different other people walked away with severe injuries at the end of the day. So basically, we're definitely going on. Let's just be back just in a bit. Good morning.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio for African voices.
Tractor systems are offline.
Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.
Eric the Priest.
De la ciencia.
And the J.R. Let's go. The dead don't pray, so give me the mic. Been high for days, still living in flight. Smoke no haze, live out of sight. Only down your place is doing me right. No hang up around, give me the light. Response to jump, give me the light. Flow with the wind, no string on me tight. Quality in Corona, but it's giving me sight. Yes, it's giving me sight. That's why your person was living in fight. The demons in place. Them under my feet, I give daily defeat to this disfigured face. It's scary to face me. Not keeping in sight the joy that is placed. Then I'm the core of my being, the strength that I live. Vibe, I got baiting. I'm carbohydrates. Kalamuzere wanzora. Kalitubira meso. One time, better hat in Indora. Pampa na helmet, yo kuchino hata lisi boda. Mubole kimuniwe, ayarabanise kumgonza. Manya wakasoma science. Kandi okubara, paid all your debts, no balance. Yes, that's what SST ni muhanda tokwetaka campus. Entande kukandi empero. English summary, well done. This is giving me sight, so I pick with them, I'm giving light everywhere that I go. I will ever ignite every fire inside and to every reply, I'm the pole. That is a no. You cannot stop. The praise that resides in my core. Living water forever will flow. The dead don't pray, so give me the mic. Been high for days, still living in flight. Smoke no haze, live out of sight. Only down your place is doing me right. No hang up around, give me the light. Response to jump, give me the light. Flow with the wind, no string on me tight. Quality in Corona, but it's giving me sight. The dead don't pray, so give me the mic. Just give me the mic. Been high for days, still living in flight. I smoke no haze, if out of sight. Only jam your blaze, doing me right. When I give you all the praise, there's no shade. When you put me on the beat, I don't play. Feel like we're on the beat, my soul saved. Right. And I'm telling what I do with my soul yes, soul So I'm singing a song, vibing and loving the order, and I'm in the fuck, I love to offer the drummer, living the life of the drummer, shaking me dip to the gun, I'm mixing the tip of the top, I had the trim of the dollar. Seeking for the drift, I was soul searching. Drilling, I was drilling, my folk tactic. I'm a do my risk, it's better than a clock cut. Chiropractic with my flows back when. Feel my big tap as a tap dance. Trouble with a surf, I count stacks. Spreading some shit like a don't know. Doing it for me, not a don't know. Like a new creation, my code raised. Cruising to the future. picture, tell us gaze. Serving me a cruiser, the cross lays. Drop it to your shore and don't praise. Let's see my muscle can get on Dava. And the money I get with the jump bagger. If you see no machine, sit up, Papa. The Hangani Gurubian and Nebia Mokama.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio for African Voices.
Mountains bow down before you, heaven and earth adore you. Big God, my King, you're my salvation. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. God so loved the world that He gave His Son, that whoever believes in Him will never die, no perish. Everything will die, man will lie, but His word will never die. My God will never lie. My light and dear light, you make me shine bright. My friendly time with me, taking good care of me. You're my life, my delight. Yeah. Mountains bow down before you, heaven and earth adore you. Big God, my King, yes, I'm always on you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. We love, we love, we love, we love you. God so loved the world that He gave His Son, that whoever believes in Him will never die, no perish. Everything will die, man will lie, but His word will never die.
A beautiful gem coming in from Awesome. Title of the song is Me Love. I think this is one of the best gems that Awesome has released from our album, Father's Love. If at all you've not listened to it, you better actually look up for it. It is a beautiful album in there that has a number of songs, but this one surpasses most of them. I personally, I love it. I don't know if Teddy loves it.
I really do. It got me dancing. Didn't you see me
It
pull
got
out
you.
that
I
strokes?
actually saw you dancing. I was like, okay, anyway, we're still moving on, and we are definitely into for 15 minutes to the top of the hour. But at this particular time, we just want to get across some of the developing stories happening, in different universities and maybe across the entire divide. Looking at a number of them here, there is one particular sad story that is coming in from Kampala International University, where the painter has gone ahead to fall off the main library and died instantly on the go. May his soul rest in peace. But if at all we are to dig in depth in this particular story here, definitely. I see the painter's name is actually Peter Ludia, according to sources close to the scene, who actually fell off the ED Abasajja Balaba Memorial Library on Wednesday. That was 4th. That was yesterday. Together with other painters, we are giving the memorial building a fresh look. Reports indicate that the deceased was handed over to the police that is yet to issue a statement on the cause of death.
Yet he fell out.
A good day, I think the cause of the death. You are good day.
I thought they would give him to the hospital to do a postmortem or something.
Yeah, that is
Because
possibly.
now the police, what is it's going to assume someone pushed him.
They're investigating. Ayinza okuba waliwo ekyamukanze oba mmesenge eyo ku kizimbe waggulu n'avayo n'agwa.
How will they know that?
Oba n'aslidinga n'agwa.
Anyway, may his soul rest in eternal peace.
But I think our police sometimes engeri gye tulimbamu nayo. Simanyi, I don't intend to, pierce them through the heart. Naye ebiseera ebisinga, there are some things that don't require investigation. The man has fallen off the building, our food day. Apart from doing a postmortem, but even a postmortem still is to find out what has killed the person.
No, but I mean, they don't, because you need a death certificate, and it's after a postmortem that they give you a death certificate.
Maybe that, but still again, police wouldn't waste our time to investigate all these things going on. But again, moving away from that particular one, that is a story coming in from Kampala International University in that particular case. But moving away from that, Makerere University is set to celebrate 100 years of existence. And, kudos to MTN Uganda that has contributed 180 million shillings towards this centennial celebration. MTN yeteze. But I think it is a very interesting contribution here because Makerere University is one of those, not even one of, is the most celebrated and longest university that has lived in this particular land, Uganda, that has definitely seen a lot of different people go through it. Those that are, within Uganda, from the presidents that have ruled this nation to the presidents that have ruled several nations outside Uganda, or Segeda, the Mikey Bakis who have just recently died, attended and went through the gates of Makerere University. Some people, prominent figures in this country have gone through Makerere University. So I think it is this time where most of these people might also feel like they should come back and contribute something towards this. Because 100 years, emyaka chikumi, if at all you are to count, basajja bonna abasinga, those that are 50 years, politicians that are 60 years, the ministers that have gone through Makerere University.
Those that are also 80, they went through Makerere.
But weka sente.
Eh?
But weka sente.
Mwabani, abe Makerere.
No, Makerere. Because the guilty president here, Shamim Nambasa, is actually spearheading this particular one. And she is all over the country trying to look for funds to be able to see that, this particular celebration is successfully executed. So, talina na kubanonya.
Nenze abana Makerere bazibu bayinza n'okwekalakasa kw'ensonga. Mutuwe funds and you see Makerere students nga bali rioting.
Kisoboka, I don't want to instill violence. Naye twandigenze ku kkubo ne tweteekako amataawa gaffe aga red. Jogera nno ninga eyayitako Makerere.
Nze wansobedde dda kubanga Yoshada nsomye naawe kuva Nassani. Kati kitegeera utegeera.
Tondesibaako nze nasomera mabega wa Makerere. Behind Makerere. Ukitegeeza omanyi bagamba if you go to Arua Park, it is equivalent to going to Arua. Obanga agenza Arua, ogenda mu Arua Park.
Okakasa.
Obanga ali Arua.
Bulijjo njagala ogenda Arua, ngenda genda leero oluva wano. Ngenda mabega ya Arua Park.
And of course, if you love to go to UK, tewemenya nnyo, we have UK Mall here. Genda chiringa obanga ali UK.
Ale watusala Yoshada. Baba yalisogera baga agenda ku embassy yawe oberenga against already.
Let me tell you, Teddy, there is one thing that I've actually noticed. Some of us might not get a chance to go to the UK. But the closest we can get to UK is to use UK Mall, use UK used phones. Use UK used clothes. That's the closest. If I know, wakati wentunulamu Elshadai waabwe, how okujjako Katonda akoze bukozi kyamagero, how will I even get close to UK?
Elshadai wenna agenda nja kukima totya.
Temanyi na kumanya.
Wenna agenda essaawa yonna nkukima.
Elizabeth ali UK.
Wadde olowooza aliwo.
Naye atwerabira olina kanamba ke munoonyeeko. Kuba kati twandigumidde ku oyo nti agenda tunona osegeera. Twandigumidde ku Elizabeth. If at all, I think...
Atakyali Elizabeth, she's English girl. She's an English girl.
So what's her name?
English girl.
That's her name?
Essaawa yonna accent ekyuka era oyinza n'okwogera naye nga totegeera byakugamba.
Oba oyina enamba ye gimpe.
Gumira wano Elshadai nze nja kukima sigenda kubeera.
I want to actually fire all you people who go abroad. Ne mutwerabira.
Nawe genda obeerabire El Shaddai ekintu
No, that's not how
kyawange.
it's supposed to be. Sometimes you even go there, ngafa bakuyambye ogenda.
El Shaddai
No twerabira.
wagamba ani?
No, I'm just speaking for the silent majority. I'm not saying that I helped someone, but sometimes, let me tell you, Teddy, yeah? People who go abroad are being helped by the people they live this side. But even when they get there, obulamu ne butereera nga
They
yerabira
forget.
abantu.
It's easy, then don't help me, help yourself and go.
Teddy, nyinza okuba nga gwofunye opportunity egenda naye nga tolina sente zikutwala.
El Shaddai naye bagamba terimu omunaku abeera n'entondo. Kati mwe abatagenda muyina entondo
Teddy.
naye tewabeerabidde obeera bagamba omuntu agenda nawe every day. Good morning.
Not every day, but once I check you on, tondeka ku boutique emyezi ebiri gatobeera online status zonziraba.
Our time frames change.
Teddy.
Online ayogera n'abali mu time frame yemu naye.
Teddy, why do people who go abroad forget us?
By the way, no offense, El Shaddai, may I feel like if abasigala tuyinamu ko obutondo jjukiramu emisana.
Sometimes oyinza okubogera na UK toyina bugoye busalawo ne tukupaakingirawo keesiyo n'owezaawezaako n'ogenda ewa Teddy n'akuwa akagato n'ojja ewa El Shaddai n'akuwa akakooti n'ogenda ewaagoni n'akuwa kano ne keesi yennyini n'ofuna agikuwadde.
You're making this person
Not personal.
It's better this is not about my best friend. You're making it personal.
No, really, I'm speaking for silent majority because most of the people I have found that I have friends abroad. Omubuuza, mugundi ali atya. Munaye gundi atwerabira. Ne bw'omukoonako wa. So my question is, why do people forget us when they go abroad?
They don't forget you.
Ebiseera ebimu tuba tetwagala basaba akasente kammwe. Kuba kyemmanyi that's the fear they have. Nti ajja kujja El Shaddai ntandika okkaaba ebizibu.
It's true, mbati mwagala basaba akasente
Nze we bagira we nali nsabye akaseera aveeya waliko omukono or forever hold your peace.
El Shaddai. Anyway, the truth is, by the way, okay, waliwo abatwerabira, and sometimes those guys, them being abroad, it's not like that well.
Actually, Ted, let me tell you. Tebeerabira ffeffeke. Kale nze we machaliwo neerabira. Naye teweerabira famire yo.
Famire yinza okuba yasenga omunyiiza.
Omuntu n'atuuka eri amasimu n'agajjako abanga ali mu ggulu, please. Oba togenze mu ggulu, oba togenze mu ggulu. Kitegeera. Ojja kunsanga ku Dubai Mall.
Wangi mama.
Nga wandeke eno nga wagaana twegweke Dubai. Wetoloola eri. Tugeesimbe mubuuze kati kiki sizze. But anyways, that has been just by the way, but if at all you get a chance to go there, still looking at Makerere University, their 72nd graduation is actually on the door, knocking, but official gown suppliers have been revealed. Supplier. But they are revealed. Of course, looking at this particular one, the graduation ceremony is slated for this particular month. That will be 23rd to 27th May. And of course, Alfred Masiche Naman has thus revealed to the stakeholders as regards the authorized suppliers for the graduation gowns. And notably, the suppliers have been, stratified according to the different colleges for easy accessibility. This is to inform, this is actually what he wrote. This is to inform you that the following suppliers have been approved to supply official gowns, graduation gowns, So in the recent years, graduates had often complained about the hazy procedures in, acquiring these gowns. Some contracted suppliers would deliver late and even partially leaving the prospective graduates, disorganized. Teddy, go are graduating, what are some of the things that you actually be aware about the graduation? There are a lot of different things that go on towards graduation. A lot of students suffer during that period. Nga wamalo soma na yate omujolo gutandika okubobera.
That's all omuntu teyandi graduating nze nga ndisomye bintu bye n'akita.
I now realize why people cry on their graduation day.
Baby.
When I nebuuza, I've emceed a lot of graduations. Na nebuuza kati unakaabira ki? Cheche mukabya. Not until I went to campus and I almost graduated, almost.
El Shaddai almost graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not yet graduated.
bichakuba byomutwe
bichambu byomutwe almost graduate nemanya why people cry omanyi wabirawo obusongasongawo buli omu obweteekateekawo sometimes that they are not even called for
tebweteeka nawo campus ebuteekawo oba tebaagala tuve mu ssomero nze sikitegeera
nalabako abaala graduation that I attended supplier n'aleeta bugawuli nga bulinga bwa baby class
kate batuuka
nga balinga bambadde amataawo g'abasawo galagakoma wano kyokka essomero lirimu abasudaani lirimu abasajja abawanvu lirimu abakazi abanene lirimu abakazi abakulu linamubuuza maama eyo gawuni ya graduation ngaeringa omanyi gala amataawo g'aba engineer
kati ate nno kati ekimumakinga wasi baleetamu agamu nga extra long agala nga extra short so nga mulina okweyiyizaawo
kati awo tabu wejjera nga nabukirawo esaza eri ennene
anti era kiki ku graduation yange nayambala actually nze ne best friend wange twali tujjaamu mu graduation gown yaffe like emu nga ffenna babiri tujjaamu nebirabika nga bambadde ebbiri.
But what should be the way how things should be conducted, most especially when it comes to gown? Bulomba mulese ne yetungira eyiye kubanga wembalira no wekyalani kyange jamugamba impima okole bwoti because yes people the tailors come and they take the measurements, but even when they take measurements
really? They don't.
Some of them do.
Anyway, universities have different criteria, but ours I don't remember measuring us.
And shout out to all universities nga mukozesa gawuni yemu gye mwakozesa 2012 gye mukyakozesa 2022 in terms of that omalo jambala tedi oyino design
no ebyali byaddayo shaddayo nowadays ogula graduation gown n'ogenda naye ewamwe togizaayo ku ssomero
ayina byo nalaba sebo babaga muzicollecting emikolo giwedde nga n'abagenda okujja next the following year they have to use that one.
Bannange ngolobewala kikabiru
sometimes I think that's is it that is it the way that it's supposed to be?
Not really, because I believe because I think anyway I don't know about other universities. I will talk on behalf of my university. After you have cleared omutunga gumaze okuboba ne gukuluma notambula kilometers wazenkana wa mu kifo kyekimu by the okirira noyambuka nokirira notambula kilometers nga zenkananga okuva mpaka Masaka naye ng'oli actually in the same faculty. Then I think that the price gye balina gye bakuwa actually you pay and then ne bakuwa gown. Because the moment for Africa stuff in a gown you wear but tap nga ne mukata wafulumiddemu you are done, you're waiting for graduation. Everything is done. But then waliwo universities nalindabye nga bo actually bakuwa gown nenga ne mukata tomanyi oba gyoli oba toliyo nenga gown already ogiguze. And jukiramu essaawa yonna ebintu bikyuka. So I think on behalf of our university, by the way universities mweddeko mutulumya nnyo emitwe. Omuntu n'abanga wasoma n'omala buli kimu wamaze ebibuuzo ne batuuka ku graduation mbu ate bakubanja tuition wa first
exactly
year.
And they do not tell you before.
Hey.
Ebebula wiki emu n'olyokondabira
kati aba bakubonya tuition wa first year. You're like, how did I do the exam so fast?
You have a missing paper.
You have a missing paper.
You have to pay 100K to do it, or another cohort to graduate. But you can also share with us your worst experience, most especially during the graduation period, because I understand everyone has a different experience. For us who have not been there, but we actually pray that we don't get to that extent.
One thing I am sure of, buli omu omutwe gukuluma. Omuli wa campus campus. Anyway, I don't know, but I feel like everyone, they just complicate it. Wetala nechikutama.
But I really want to understand it, Angel. How can this be solved? Bulungi. Should graduation gowns be bought mu first year so that you have at least okay, no first year is okuba kisusiza nnyo, but at least a semester to ending.
Like third year, yeah.
Third year omanya nti obulayo semester emu. Kola ki? Kula gawuni yo obeere nayo omanye nti eno entuuka naye sometimes mulimu ate abawala nga agenda kugejja oba sometimes atuuke ku graduation nga ali lubuto.
Ne El Shaddai, a gown will still be a gown. No obeera lubuto mu gown.
Yakambala kabeere nga gundi.
It will still fit.
It will still fit you.
Yes, it's a gown. I mean, it can be real. Impossible not graduating. A smart oji wambalanga kunga tumaina wefana no. Omanyi zobera ro anyi nyonyoro omuntu ali green.
Tochiremera konyeto. Tochirwa akenyeto.
But anyway, I think a gown is still be a gown. Your idea, I think actually it even comes with universities. Simanyu rachi wabera disorganized. Because me I feel like taza. We can solve that in a day. Like you come in a day, no manya, I'm going to settle this in a day. We are going for lunch. After lunch, nanyuka. No munonya kateweke ngataliko. Obase chonoje the following day. Lerote yakoze. Lera abera off taja ku university. No, kogamba no bera or just up and down. Come back tomorrow. So I think those guys are just not organized, and I think bagaranyo babending ila law, because I am sure it's from university to university. You want to bend, we bend law for you, we pay the tuition. Actually, there is a university bangambo no kubango gena graduating on one university to graduating. But you still have a balance of probably like 100K with the university. You're not supposed to graduate. Your bank slippers to have be having nil number to Ibanja University but so I think those guys are just disorganized. You can settle such an issue before even grad. So I think universities they try to do a system that won't lead these kids regret why they went to school. Kwanga we tala nukanogamba never na in fact sika graduation or no waliwo abera bagenda okola ebyo yanti omazosoma no gendo kole echeyo university ekwetaza echeyo chikwetaza, so you have to prioritize.
Universities enjagala okusabula. I think kanzisabule nga tukomyewo Teddy shortly after this break, but even if we come back kubasabula when I return Teddy wenelabira nzijukiza, but still when we return we're definitely going to be talking about mental health. It should be noted that this is May is a mental health awareness month, and of course looking at this particular year's theme, it is back to basics. After the last 2 years of the pandemic living, many people are realizing that stress, isolation, and uncertainties have actually taken a toll on their well-being. And of course, we definitely want to look into that particular matter. How can definitely we be able to get back to the basics of how mental health was definitely handled before the outbreak of COVID-19? That and more is what we're looking at shortly after this break. Give it MCI Radio for African Voices. The puzzle actually returns shortly.
MCI Radio, the biggest and hottest internet radio that everyone's talking about. MCI Radio for African Voices.
What happens if you're young, African and broke? What is the way forward for you?
Are you ready? It's about that time that we mash up your evenings. Great hits, great conversations, all for you.
Would you publicly slap a friend for talking about your chick?
Tune in to the Evening Mashup with Tracey K, Monday to Friday, 46 p.m. On the home of the African Voice, MCI Radio.
Are you a parent afraid of your child's use of social media, putting restrictions and passwords on their gadgets, yet you have no time to do so? Well, Media and Information Literacy for Children is a program for you and your child to learn how to navigate the media landscape, acquire soft skills, and appreciate the role of media in their lives. Sign up your child for the Meal for Kids trainings at the MCI Media Hub or the Meal for Kids Annual Bootcamp. Meal for Kids, meant for children.
Hapa ndipo sasa, maana yake ndio mwanzo kupata fursa ya kuchangamka na MCI Radio. Hutachangamka kwa mziki safi kabisa, hutaka kuburudisha, mada za kuelimisha, majadiliano ya mafunzo ndani yake, na katika yote haya ni kutoka kwa vijana walio vyuo vikuu ndani ya Afrika Mashariki. Changamka na vijana, tutakupamba sio tu kwa majadiliano na mada, bali utachangamka na simulizi zenye radha tofauti zilizojaa hisia, furaha na mafundisho kutoka kwa vijana walio vyuo vikuu.
Ulikuwa umetenga mwezi kabisa. Hey, hey. Msikilizaji, kama unasikiliza, this is really shocking. You know, 100 CV, 100, this 1, 2, up to 100.
Sasa mwezi ulipoisha, CV 100 zimeisha. Acha nikae ningoje nione wataniita wapi.
Kaa karibu na redio yako kila siku ya Jumanne, Alhamisi, Jumamosi, saa 4 kamili asubuhi hadi saa 5 kamili asubuhi kwa saa za Afrika Mashariki. Kumbuka, kijana ndiyo taifa la sasa, sio la kesho.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio for African Voices.
Listen to The Puzzle every weekday, 8 to 10 a.m. with El Shaddai and Tracey on MCI Radio.
The hits just keep on coming.
Steph London Bunny Remix. Jazz of fresh hits, fresh talent, and connecting all universities. Download the MCI Radio app on Google Play Store, the home of the African Voice, a free internet radio on radio.mciug.org.
I wanna thank you today, Lord. Only day, Ankoka. What I don't know what to say. Na yere don't say, ona. Oichirima, tomanyi suna, abusinga yana. Yepa kuba kulani, omanyera nzani. And I see Janze because don't try. He knows try because he lives. Yeah, he knows my future because he lives. Yamanye yangenawe, yamanye because he lives. Yahweh. Because Papa knows your story. Papa knows your story. Papa knows your story. You know you can't. You're not a me what a me what. Era Wimba Nangwa Onanyusa. Papa knows your story. Papa knows your name. Papa knows your story. Yahweh knows my story. Yahweh knows my echo. Yahweh knows my story. Ichirima, tomanyi suna, akusinga yami. Ekwa kumakulani. Because it lives, yeah. Oh.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio for African Voices.
At exactly 15 minutes of 9 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you aboard, ladies and gentlemen, once again on this particular second hour of the Breakfast Puzzle right here on MCI Radio. We are actually coming to you live from the MCI Media Hub located at Sirupati Mazimo Mall. That is level 4 for all your, media needs, should we say communication and journalism needs. This is the place for you. It is a state-of-the-art facility, a one-stop center for each and every single service that you definitely desire, most especially when it comes to, documentary production, when it comes to podcasts, when it comes to videography, photography, and maybe events hosting. At the end of the day, this is the space for you to definitely, come to, because we understand very much that you cannot come into this space and walk away without, solving your problem in terms of, media. At the end of the day, playing in the background is a beautiful jam coming in from Master KG. Title of the song is Yesu wa Makata. In that particular one, it is a South African African word that actually means Yesu mukulu atalina amaanyi. Osegera bulungi nnyo. Jesus is powerful and he has, he is beyond everything at the end of the day. But it is Thankful Thursday. I know quite a lot of things are definitely going on. Let us not focus on things that have not really worked. Let us put our mind on the things that we have definitely been able to achieve throughout the entire day at the end of the day. I'm here with Teddy Tenjo. I always want to call her 10. I don't know why. Do not ask me. But I think it's just a short form of Teddy Tenjo. Teddy, there is something that I really want us to talk about today on the standpoint, and probably quite a lot of different things that we are going to be able to understand. We were here on Tuesday and we talked about depression in particular. But again, I think depression, falls under a particular category of, maybe it falls under a particular a kind of, should I call it a situation, analysis? Should I call it, how should I term it? Because when you look at depression, it's just like a tip of an iceberg on something that is so huge, which is mental health. You understand? Yeah. And mental health encompasses quite a number of different things. It has, maybe anxiety. It has, disorders in there. It has depression. It has quite a number of different other things. When we talk about traumas and all other several things that we can definitely talk about, I understand pretty much that, this very month of May is a mental health awareness month. And, across the entire world, people are definitely, creating awareness, most especially when it comes to, issues related to mental health. And this year's theme is actually back to basics. I think it has been brought into, the picture, looking at how we've been faring as human beings, most especially for the past 2 years, where we've been into a pandemic, where isolation has been the order of the day. People have been going through a lot, but they never had anything or anyone to share them with, you understand? Yeah. Because into a lockdown, there you are a parent who has these 7 kids at home. They have to eat. You go through a lot, and probably Nyumiriza is going through the same situation. You are all in a lockdown. Yeah. So we've shifted from the new normal, from the normal to the new normal. But now, how can we be able to get back to the basics, to get back to the old normal that we can definitely talk about in this particular one? There are quite a lot of different things that we might actually navigate on this particular one. But do you think mental health is crucial or important?
Usually, it is obvious that mental health is important, because I think once you're not mentally okay, you physically behave differently than a person who is mentally okay. Let's talk about the insane. Like, they're not mentally okay. That's why you find a grown-up person, he's moving naked, or she's moving naked. She's probably talking alone. She's probably saying stuff that don't connect. They'll tell you about Tenjo. Before you know it, she'll tell you, I went to the forest. Before you know it, actually, I want to sleep. So I think once you are not mentally okay, you're physically dead. That's the whole thing. And once you're mentally okay, you are physically upright. So mental health is very, very, very crucial and important.
It is really important. I would actually not differ away from you when you say when your mental health is not in check, it might actually affect your entire kind of productivity, the way you relate with people, your social life will definitely be affected. Right. And, even your finance, your financial life will definitely be affected, because you will definitely start to do things that you are not supposed to be doing. If at all you've not been drinking alcohol, you're going to start boozing, and you're spending money. And you will get your savings and try to, buy drugs at the end of the day. Yeah. So you'll find out that there are quite a lot of different things that are going to be sort of affected just because of a particular problem. But, for over time, my mind has always shifted from, looking at a problem as it happens. But how can we be able to solve all these problems before they definitely happen? Because there is a particular book called Upstream. It is written by Dan Heath. He actually talks about how to solve problems before they happen. You understand? Before they happen. It might look funny, but
not even funny.
Impossible. It is impossible. It looks like it is impossible.
It just mocks.
Because how can you tell a problem? How?
Please don't come.
But again, it is when you give it a second thought, Teddy, there are a lot of problems that come to us.
No, we've called them.
We've not called them,
Okay.
but we had the ability
To stop them.
or
Right.
prevent them before they happen.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'll give you an example of, let's say, if I wake up one day and I get a girl pregnant, that's a problem that I've caused to myself.
Why would that be a problem?
It is a problem because I'm not prepared to actually get into that for now, Teddy.
I think that would be the new normal.
It becomes a problem. But I have the capacity to solve or prevent that problem before it happens. How am I going to solve
Okay,
it?
if it's a problem to you, you're right.
Teddy, let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
anything that happens unexpectedly,
It's a problem.
it is a problem in one way or the
El
other.
Shaddai. There's something. No, it's like receiving money unexpectedly.
Okimanyi oyinza okwewa obutwa. Okimanyi oyinza okufa.
Stop your jokes, El
Teddy,
Shaddai.
let me tell you one thing. Essaawa zino, omuntu n'akusurprisinga ne miliyoni nga 4.
Ng'obutwa mbwewako ki?
Teddy.
I go and make life.
Let me tell you one thing.
Mhm.
There is a friend of mine who went to sports betting. N'awangula akakadde. Back then we were in senior 6. We were in hostel. Osegera. N'awangula akakadde k'ensimbi. He spent like a week nga tategeera.
Okay, I think what you're trying
Nga
to say.
tategeera because of that's a problem.
I think what you're trying
to
to say.
him.
You get 4M, you're this person who has not been boozing, you end up going to a bar, to sponsor people out
Exactly.
there. Yeah, maybe, okay, to some extent,
You get
you're
huge
right.
chunks of money. Nezikumalako emirembe. Waliwo owuliddeko sente abantu zimalako emirembe.
Ziba zibeera mu mikono mibi.
Ng'alina sente naye nga zimumazeeko emirembe. That's what I actually mean. Because let me tell you, Teddy, there are particular problems that we can prevent ourselves. Okimanyi olina ebizibu byeweteekamu Teddy n'ogamba, I wish I had done this. This wouldn't have happened. But you realize that after the problem has happened.
I'll try to think about that and I see those problems. Because
There are lots.
You never call them problems, they just come your way.
They definitely you can never call problems, but we have the capacity as human beings.
But anyway.
Leave alone problems like a sudden death. No one calls death, but there are these petty
El
problems.
Shaddai, there are some problems when they're a problem to me, but you find to El Shaddai it's a privilege. Okimanyi ekyo?
Like what?
No, you may be there and you're saying, I have a problem. Let me say a problem of eating posho. You're like, you find it as a problem. But you go to Katanga down there, when that person is like, I wish I can even just get posho. You know that, right? That there are some problems with like a Mogaga. If someone is very rich, having 4M on them, it's a problem. They are broke at the moment. But you
Exactly.
find that the Tenjo here, she's like, Mukama, ne ompaya kakadde kamu.
You know, it's a problem for them to have 4 million on their account, but they have the capacity to not actually get there. They have the capacity to not get bankrupt by streamlining their expenditure and maybe looking out at the way they spend their money.
Okay. Right, yeah.
That is thinking upstream. You think at a problem before it actually happens. Osegera Teddy. But omanya nti maybe nyine emitwalo 10. If I spend it this way, in 2 weeks nja kuba sirina. I now start to like minimize my expenditure so that I know when is my next time to receive that money. When a student at a campus, you know, to avoid in pocket money wa mitwalo 10 nga bamukuwadde for a full semester. How are you going to do it? You're not going to spend like Teddy, who actually has 500,000.
I mean, tell them.
But of course, different things are going on. Like I did say, it is, mental health, awareness month. This is something that is so really much paramount, most especially when it comes to our well-being. Most of the people go through a lot, and this a lot causes different other things at the end of the day in return, because it is like an accumulation of thing after the other. When someone starts drugs, it is going to cause other terrible problems at the end of the day. Then you will hear people having cancer now. You will hear people having lung cancer. You will hear people having complications in breathing and all that particular things being caused by one problem which might have not been solved earlier on. But I would definitely tell you that mental health, mental health awareness is actually, talk about mental health, and we definitely deliberately share what we know and what we learn with families, friends, and definitely other people. This is also a time to actually feel everyone, to free everyone from stereotypes that too often discourage people from getting help when they need it. There is hope for renewal and recovery. We can all make a difference in the life of our families, friends, and others who experience mental illnesses. Let me tell you, Teddy, mental illnesses, sometimes when someone is mentally not okay, there is a way society or even friends or even family members take that person.
Even that person, the way that
they
person
take themselves. Before we even get into that person, because this person is now vulnerable, they desire help. Tosobola musalira musango, but you just need to find out, how can I help this particular individual? But society has gone ahead to stigmatize people who are not mentally okay. With the words they say, with the things they do to them, not knowing that this is just a situation that is definitely going to happen, maybe temporarily, and this person is going to remember whatever you did to them when they are not fine. Omuntu asobola okuvuukako waya, now they are not mentally fine. No, abantu ne bamuyisa mu ngeri enkyamu. And they remember all those things. I have a friend of mine who had a mother that wasn't mentally fine. So they had a maid who used to mistreat that mom, because the maid maybe thought she would never get back into her senses. She used to mistreat her even when the children left everything in place that the mom needed. Food was not given to her on time. Medicine was not given to her on time. When she needed help, she didn't get it because the children were away to look for money to take care of their mom. But this particular, maid deliberately, mistreated her because sometimes they thought she might have not even remember. But after a few years, the lady got back to normal. And she narrated the entire stories. Everything that happened to them, to her rather, was definitely narrated. But we, just look at all those things. If at all we treat people the wrong way,
right,
sometimes it's going to come back, to us at the end of the day. So, how would we treat people with mental health illnesses?
You see, El Shaddai, sometimes you find that people are not, they're not Holy Spirit to figure out, to say, I think El Shaddai is mentally not okay. At times, people treat you that way, thinking you're a normal person, you are okay mentally, you're okay everywhere. So I think society, at times, treating people with mental illness like that, they do it unknowingly. However, there are those bad ones, like you said, that do it. Because some people have mental health issues, when they're not going to reach that extent of where they live with a maid to help you and all that. When it's within them and they just need to seek help from probably the experienced people that treat such diseases or something. So back to your question. What was your question?
How can we possibly help people? Because you will find out that even in society, we start discriminating these people. Etubejjako ngamba Teddy molesta alaika katwewungu kati waya tivuddeko osegera.
Olaba gwe whether sometimes people bejjako n'okwejjako emikwano. So you find that you can't help this person when they are rejecting you. But I think we the society, what we could do for the mental illness people, we could just press on like tubalemereko, even when someone rejects you and you feel like Ted needs my help, even when she pushes you away. Persist, continue to do good. At the end of the day, at some point, this person is going to reach an extent and she will open up and tell you how she feels about certain things. And by all means, you can be of help to this person. Because I think the only medicine I have tried to look for, to read about mental health is opening up. You tell people how you feel so that it doesn't go further to you getting insane, like really insane. because it all starts with, a simple mental illness, and before you know it, no gwedalu for real, and ulimulalu. So I think as society should help people, or actually even family members. If you look at, your children, mothers, fathers, your children, you can be like, Joseph has always not been like this.
Exactly.
What's wrong? Something is not happening.
And you can
Try to
tell
help.
from, the way people behave. Sometimes, yinza okulaba nga Teddy abadde adduka nnyo nga she no longer does all those things. Seek and find out, because one thing I've really understood is that early identification and treatment is also vital. By getting individuals the treatment they definitely need earlier can definitely maybe help them to recover very quickly, because the more the problem, the more the situation gets to worsen or segela, because they always say prevention is better than cure. But we can also prevent, an already existing problem, and try as much as possible to eradicate it at the end of the day. So basically, for everyone who is actually listening in, I would definitely understand that you too can definitely be part of, this particular one, because sometimes when we call upon people to, replace stigma with hope, give these people hope. Tell them that, this is not the end of life. Because recently I told you a story about a particular girl who shared with me what she was going through, and she felt like she was being judged by society. She felt like she was being, segregated, stigmatized, and, people are throwing each and every single, word towards her. And she felt like now life is worthless. You understand? But we need to be able to encourage these people.
Yeah, let's engage them always, because you find that you look at El Shaddai. El Shaddai loves soccer, and you're like, El Shaddai, since when El Shaddai does it, like, he's like this, he doesn't want to play anymore and all that. Try to engage this person. Have a feeling that probably this person is stressed, and the result of stress is mental illness. Try to involve El Shaddai every time you have a game, even when he's not going to play. You be like, El Shaddai, can we go and play soccer?
Come on, we hang out.
Find the things that your friend, your family member was too much into, and engage them into those things. By all means, you're going to help this person. He or she won't feel lonely at any one point. He'll feel like still wanted, and it will be of help for sure.
Well, we're still going on, and of course, you can share with us your thought. How can we be able to help people with mental health illnesses in society without segregating them, without, discriminating them, and all the other negative things that we might have been doing to them, knowingly and unknowingly, because sometimes we do the things that we do unknowingly. It is affecting someone. But you can go ahead and share with us, visit our social media platforms, that is MCI Radio UG, and share with us what do you think about what we're definitely talking about. Alternatively, you can also use the number 0770-531-962 and share with us. We're taking a short, quick breather. When we return, we'll definitely be looking to quite a number of different other things that we shall definitely be talking about. This is a beautiful jam coming in from Pompey. Title of the song is No Rent. What's a sude rent? Oh, what on never. Bakukonkola, what bakukonkola. Good morning.
I will call you a pioneer. This here that I feel so strong. You discover there's a heart here, been empty for oh so long. Baby, come and furnish. Add flavor to my life, refurbish. Add a lot of by purpose, so your work's a never-ending service. Yeah. It's a week, no rent, no rent. It's a week, no rent, no rent. From the crown of my head to the sole of my shoe. Yeah, my love for you is pure. My Lord, I let my shoe. So be comfy and secure. 3-5-4 pound. Skinny guy, but I walk like a giant. anointed as king who defiant, and I chill on the mountain of Zion. How is it you can tame my power? How is it you can bring me to silence? Nikala ningo sekelela, watini nineka, in the battle with the violence. Misozi zonse watola, you can call the shots monga refua bola. Nickname atichi tumbua, pocolastic maje iwama Coca-Cola. Iwe waliba vitamini, watiko disipuro, protomentamini. Natural bleach, no skin, baby girl, you a winner. It's a week, no rent, no rent. It's a week, no rent, no rent. From the crown of my head to the sole of my shoe. Yeah, my love for you is pure. Landlord, I lekute mwachua. So be comfy and secure.
Awele satata shatala monapo. You look reliable. Kwati womba kuzanako. Kutina biliva kwa kasako. Ngawanje batawafu mapachalo. Pamenso ule moneka kwati shina ni jipo. Cause you are my gift. Classy but yet simple. Beautiful round eyes. Right size dimple. Avike no kutemwalesa. How can I need more? It's a wikale mumuti mawandi wenkeche. Olo nava uafita patu sene sene. Olo ameno yali sangalala pamuchene. Gatinine chilemba iwe uli muchele. Ganako mona ndekuta nenso kanda shaina. Shaka wekele kubuchimbe nari lapila. Nakute mwapati Yesu ate mwa ulukuta. Iwe na ine pena pengani Yesu tusumbula.
Tisawi kale mumutima wani. No renti, no rent. Tisawi kale mumutima wani. No renti, no rent. So it's how we call it mumutima wani. 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 So we call it mumutima wani. No renti, no rent. It's how we call it mumutima wani. No renti, no rent. From the crown of my head to the sole of my shoe. Yeah, my love for you is pure. Landlord, alekute mwashua. So be comfy and secure.
This is MCI Radio, the biggest and hottest internet radio that everyone's talking about. MCI Radio, for African voices. You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio, for African voices.
Great vibes, great music, and great conversations on the coolest radio show on air. You heard the mashup with TK only on MCI Radio, Monday to Friday, 46 p.m.
Have you heard, read, seen information and you weren't sure about it? Is it a Facebook post, TikTok video, news article or audio content? Look no further for the facts. We've got you covered. The D-Bank brings you all the facts on Uganda's first ever fact-checking show, clearly verified and investigated with detail and well-researched experts' analysis for you to make the right decision. Tune into MCI Radio every Friday at 2 p.m. for our audio fact checks and on our socials at The D-Bank Show every Monday at 11 a.m. for our video fact checks. The D-Bank Show. Stay verified.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio, for African voices.
Hapa ndipo sasa, maana yake ndio mwanzo wa kupata fursa ya kuchangamka na MCI Radio.
life is too short. I'ma get this time feeling. I'm on a special feeling.
Utachangamka kwa mziki safi kabisa, utaka kuburudisha, mada za kuelimisha, majadiliano yenye mafunzo ndani yake. Na katika yote haya ni kutoka kwa vijana walio vyuo vikuu ndani ya Afrika Mashariki. Changamka na vijana, tutakupamba sio tu kwa majadiliano na mada, bali utachangamka na simulizi zenye raha tofauti zilizojaa hisia, furaha na mafundisho kutoka kwa vijana walio vyuo vikuu.
Ulikuwa umetenga mwezi kabisa. Hey, hey. Msikilizaji, kama unasikiliza, this is really shocking. 100 CV, 100, this 1, 2 up to 100.
Sasa mwezi ulipoisha, CV 100 zimeisha. Wacha nikae ningoje nione wataniita wapi.
Kaa karibu na redio yako kila siku ya Jumanne, Alhamisi, Jumamosi, saa 4 kamili asubuhi hadi saa 5 kamili asubuhi kwa saa za Afrika Mashariki. Kumbuka, kijana ndiyo taifa la sasa, sio la kesho.
The hits just keep on coming.
Steph London Bunny remix. When you
Jazz of fresh hits, fresh talent, and connecting all universities. Download the MCI Radio app on Google Play Store, the home of the African voice, a free internet radio on radio.mciug.org.
Jamari, I thank you for my life, my children and my wife. Creator, you're so merciful for the things I don't deserve. Ono kwengamba, ngamba kwempana, emikisa yagaba, nobulamu yabima. He knew my face long before I was born. That's what the Bible tells me, that he knows me by name. Ani aliamanyi ndiba wa mugaso eri kwanga. Say, let's say, superstar in Uganda. Who knew that you'd become what you are today? Wadenga tonatuka, wodi wa maloku sinza. Yeye keya manye kubolyo. Kwe mwoli tokuwangula ebizibu by'enseno. Abaana boli balisa choli bambazachi. Sukulu fizi olizijja waka. Yamanye enyumba olisula muyanda olimusasula ki. Kasente olikajja wakwe. I thank you for my life, my children and my wife. Creator, you're so merciful for the things I don't deserve. I'm not what sometimes I live my life like a fool. I'm not afraid kubanga kwenesika sobola. I have a friend, Collins, and never see the senior. He will never ever let me down. Cause his love for me is higher than the clouds. Yes. I'm stronger than ever. I will not be whatever. I'll hold until I'm a winner. I'm stronger than ever. I will not be whatever. I'll hold until I'm a winner. Thank you for my life. Yeah, my papa and my mama. For all the things I don't deserve. I thank you for my life, my children and my wife.
Simanyonyo. For the things I don't deserve. Simanyonyo.
You're listening to MCI Radio, the coolest internet radio. MCI Radio for African Boots.
Jamari, 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 jamari. I thank you for my life, my children and my wife. Creator, you're so merciful for the things I don't deserve. Ono kwengamba, gamba kwempana, emikisa yagaba, nobulamu yabima. He knew my face long before I was born. That's what the Bible tells me, that he knows me by name. Ani yamanyi ndiba wa mugaso eri kwanga.
Indeed, ani ali amanyi nti oliba wa mugaso eri eggwanga. Tiwe oli wamala okuzinza, yeye ke yamanye ekkubo lyo. Sei, kuyimba kwaganira bwereere, naye nalimba sobola. A beautiful job coming in from Jamali. It is one Jamali on this particular one. I just want to send shout outs to John Mary, one of the greatest songwriters I know and producers of all time in this particular one. Title of the song is in Sima, literally meaning I'm thankful. On this particular Thankful Thursday on the Breakfast Puzzle, we just want to remind you that, hey, you know what, you might have forgotten that particular thing that you've really achieved that you need to be thankful for, because as human beings we tend to forget most of the times. But sometimes you live like a fool, but again, still that love of God will definitely chase you wherever you definitely go. Sometimes it's called the reckless kind of love, reckless kind of love. It will definitely chase you from, wherever you definitely go. And sometimes it's always good to remember, Let me tell you one thing, Teddy. Sometimes people think that, the things that we need to be grateful for need to be those big things. Big things, kuba ediru nga nene nnyo, okubeera thankful, kubanga it is a very big achievement. One thing that I've definitely learned as an individual is to give gratitude even to the smallest things that you've definitely achieved. Because let me tell you, whenever you, we call it testifying, yeah? But whenever I come and Teddy, I tell you, Ochimanyi Teddy, lero, I bought a new pair of shoes. It might sound small, but to you as an individual will be like, oh, in this economy, El Shaddai has been able to buy a pair of shoes. Thanks be to God. Let me tell you, there are some people who feel threatened to share what God has really done for them. But don't fear to share what you've achieved. Let me tell you, abantu obanga bakaba bwavu nga goina mukasente, brag about it. Osegera bagaye banayi mumukaba obwavu mukaba economy, but such kind of things. And that will definitely give another person hope that even in this situation someone can definitely make money. Osegera abantu je bakabira rent, come out and say zeraliro lidamusasudde emyezi ebiri maaso. Osegera people will definitely have hope and they will feel encouraged at the end of the day, because Thanksgiving is sort of, sharing a testimony that is going to help one another and encourage them through that situation that they definitely go through at the end of the day. So basically, Thanksgiving should be part of our lives at the end of the day. But as we conclude on this particular topic that we have been talking about, remember it is, Mental Health Awareness Month, and the theme is back to basics. How can we get back to the basics? Steady, as we wind up, gone are the days we used to help one another. We all come through it will be okay, everything is going to be fine. As someone loses a parent, you come and talk to them. It might not be a very I would say speedy process for them to heal, but it's a gradual process that goes from one step to another, and eventually this person will be okay. It might be a person who has lost their beloved one, and they cannot comprehend the fact that someone has really left me, and this is going to traumatize them for the rest of their lives. And guess what? The more we keep on giving hope to these people, speaking to them positivity and encourage them, this is the more these people are going to definitely heal. You understand?
Right, yeah.
It might not be loss of a person. It might be loss of business. Teddy, very many people lost businesses during COVID-19.
Yeah, and very many are still losing.
Exactly. But it is not the time for us to come on Wagamba, wasente wazidi ya chivubi. Oshegera, you do not know what they went through. Oshegera, during lockdown. They might be having, or they might have had like 17 people to take care of.
Yeah.
Osegera nganewe wandibadde gwe ng'olina million 10 ku account for 2 years in a lockdown zigwawo. Osegera. So it's not that time for us to judge people, because one thing I really understand is mental health conditions can be healed, and people can recover. People can recover, and it is time for us to be able to give back and give hope to people. So as we wind up, Teddy, in your own conclusion, how can we get back to that place where we used to be? Ng'omuntu bw'afiirwa tumukubagiza, omuntu bw'afiirwa tumubeererawo, omuntu bw'abeera ng'alina situation gy'ayitamu. We are there for them instead of us being able to judge them. Ogamba kati laba, wafunye olubuto, wagenze, wabadde obyagala, osegera. Because that's
Someone
what people say.
Someone is telling you I was raped, you're saying awali oyagala.
Osegera. Someone comes out and say, I was gang raped, for example. You think they did it out of their interest. How can we get back to that position as we get back to the basics?
Well. It is quite hard for us to get back there. However, it is possible that we can. I think we should learn to share pain with one another. When El Shaddai is suffering, it shouldn't be my happiness to be like, hey, yali yewana nekalabo how it feels like. So I think we should learn to share pain with one another, which is very, very hard, because right now the world is tense. Like, people are trying out to survive. People are trying very hard to make a living, to survive. And it is very hard to tell someone to share your pain with you. But then I think you can make a circle, like you should have a circle where people will feel your pain. If you're hurting, they are hurting. If they're hurting, you're hurting as well. Rather than of late, you find that we are having big circles which have lots of unreal unreal people. Like, we have people in our circles that are unreal. They'll talk behind your back. You go share with someone how you feel, how as coming from a bar, as raped and all that. And someone is like, yeah, racha partying, it happened. So I think
how can you be out at that time, a girl?
Which is, everyone wants to be happy, and no one calls for a problem. That's what I was trying to emphasize right from the start. No one calls for a problem, but a problem will come by all means. So, in simple terms, what I'm trying to emphasize is, let's learn to share one another's pain. If someone is hurting, let's not be happy about it, because at the end of the day, now it's that person is not a Z of problems. Job suffered a lot in the Bible. When I read about Job, I get even emotional. He suffered. He had friends who came and stood by him for some time, and afterwards they left, and he was all alone. But remember, by at some point, God is going to have that person his back. And by all means, that person won't help you. You didn't have their back. At least let's learn to believe into your no suffering about at some point. Okay.
No situation is permanent.
Yes. Yes, like forever. every situation comes to an end. So let's learn to be happy when people are happy, be sad when people are sad, mourn with your people, grieve with your people, stand with them. And besides that, yes, mukama inengeri wakuwa mukisa.
Exactly.
Yes. That has been Telly for you.
Well, this is a very interesting topic that we'll definitely be discussing over and over again. This being a month of mental health awareness, we'll definitely have a few guests that will definitely be helping us understand how we can get back to the basics and what could be the possible, solutions to mental health illnesses at the end of the day. Because when you realize that this is not something that is being brought by one particular or single problem, it is a number of different things being put together that can cause mental illness. But whether you realize it or not, mental health actually plays a very big role in our life, in our overall well-being, in other words. So when you're mentally healthy, like Teddy said, you are able to actually enjoy your life and even the people in it. You will be able to feel good about yourself, appreciate yourself, and also keep good relationships, and also deal with stress. It is normal for your mental health to actually shift over time because situations change. Happy. Situations change, but you need to be able to cope up with situations when they definitely come at the end of the day. But other than that, I just want to wish you the best of the day. Let's meet tomorrow on the Fun Friday. Yeah, that's my best day that I'm super excited about. It already feels like a Friday, but means and you say they always say alle bad catches the worms and you say katigo achikuluma chikulume oboto kabuto sikomolemo inze buddewo segera nazokusenga botebase. But thank you so much, Zeddy Angel, for always hanging up with us here and of course tapping into that particular bank of knowledge and brains at the end of the day. To all you people that have been listening through, thank you so much for being part of this amazing conversation. We'll definitely be still talking about mental health this whole month. Day in, day out, you will hear about the issues related mental health illness, victims, bipolar, stress, depression, anxiety, and all those things are not going to actually get out of our mouths very soon at the end of the day. So let's do this. And maybe the other thing, Teddy, we should not only talk about mental health during the month of May only. Because
no, but they get the knowledge in May, they will be applying in the next month.
We need to be able to actually continuously talk about people. These things over and over again, because it doesn't really make sense for us to be able to talk about something in May and then forget about it when we get into June.
Like you do for Women's Day. It's only March. Your
Mother's Day, you remember your mothers on Mother's Day. These are people that need to be celebrated every day. So let's not even wait for Sunday to go and pray to God. Wherever you are, pray to God, and issues will definitely be sorted at the end of the day. Other than that, I'm out of this place. Coming up next is the news at 10 with Solomon Valley. We're out of this particular place. Have a fabulous day at the end of the day. Let's meet tomorrow, same time, same place, and of course, maybe remember to trust in God in whatever you do. Good morning.
This is the news on MCI Radio. My name is Solomon Chisache and the time is 10 a.m. The Electoral Commission of Islamic University in Uganda Law Student Society has declared Onyango Silva, Kasada Andrew, Wamini Silaj, and Mugabe John Bosco as the duly nominated candidates to contest for the society's top position. This was after the commission was satisfied that the 4 aspirants meeting the qualifications to contest for the post. Amanyabo Charles, the chairperson Electoral Commission, said that the society's constitution requires a candidate for president to be in his third year of study and must have obtained at least a cumulative grade point average of 3, which was met by all candidates. Link bus terminal offices in Fort Portal City in Kabarole district remain closed this morning after suspension of their operation following a road crash in which one of the company buses was involved, killing 20 people and injuring several others. A man who attacked controversial comic David Chappelle on stage as he performed a live stand-up set in Los Angeles has been arrested and charged with assault. The comedian was finishing a set during the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival at the Hollywood Bowl on Tuesday night when a male audience member climbed on stage and rushed at him. In sports, Karim Benzema scored an extra time penalty as Real Madrid pulled off another astonishing comeback in the Champions League to stand Manchester City 3-1 on Wednesday and book a showdown with Liverpool in the final. City looked certain to go through when Riyad Mahrez put them 1-0 up and 5-3 ahead on aggregate, but Rodrigo, on as a substitute, scored an incredible late double, his goals in the 90th and 91st minute, sending the tie to extra time where Benzema scored a penalty that sent the Spanish champions to the